Morning again. Right, in my last video you saw that we had a blown tweeter and I've managed to get another one. There we go. So we're going to replace that, fit that in the other one. And you may also remember that the 20 microfarad caps that were in the woofer notch filter were out of tolerance by a lot, probably 30%. So we've got some new 20 microfarad caps as well. So this video is going to be fitting those, fitting the new tweeter, and showing you the cabinet repairs, or what I've done so far. So yeah, I'm going to take out both of these, take the crossover out, and we'll do that first. Just out of curiosity, the original tweeters were made on the 5th in 1991. There's the magnet from the blown one, again the 5th, 91. Our new tweeter is slightly earlier, the 7th, 1990. So yeah, exactly the same model, but it's from a different batch, I guess. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll clip that one off rather than risk damaging it by getting too much heat in there. Simple as that. Right, okay, woofer out and tweeter out. So next we take the foam out again. And that gets us to the crossover. Try and find the right socket. So that's a 1/4 inch socket. Undo the binding posts. Okay, and once again out comes the crossover. Let's move this. So what we're replacing is this cap here, which is 20 microfarad. It's got a KEF label on it, so that's the one we're changing. Okay. Right. I don't remember seeing this resistor on the other one. That's been added into the notch filter. Interesting. Well, we'll see shortly. Right, so there's the 20. So while we're here, we'll check it. As one of them was quite far out. Can't remember out the other one though. Right. Let's have a look. 21.4, that's not too bad. The other one was quite far out, but I don't want to replace just one. If you're going to replace them, do them in pairs. Oh, look, exactly the same, 21.4. That's the other one. I'm quite happy with that. 22 would be 10%. So we're about 5%. That's okay, that's good. Right. Okay. So these are slightly physically bigger than the others, but that's only because they've got a slightly higher voltage rating. So I try and get these in. Right, I've just turned this around because it's a bit tricky without having it held in something. Just little bits of heat. There we go. Can you hear the church bells ringing? That's because it's Easter. Happy Easter. This is going to be a struggle to fit in here. Right, let's try and tidy this up a bit before we solder it down properly. Okay. Okay. Put our positive back on for the woofer. Right, let's have a look. Okay, we're all back together. So I'll clip these tails off. That's on there now. All good. Okay, so let's put this back together. Right, yeah, interesting about that little resistor there on the notch filter. Like I say, I don't recall seeing it on the other one, so yeah, we'll see. It's 2 ohms, so it's a reasonable value, but like I say, it's on this notch filter, so it's not going to have a huge effect. The idea of that notch filter is to remove a lump, probably in the response, in the way the woofer behaves. And we might have a little peak somewhere without calculating it and seeing the resonance of that circuit and working out where it is. I don't know. But anyway, let's see what we find on the other one. But like I say, I don't remember seeing it. Okay. So back in with the foam, scrunch it up, put it in there. There we go. Yeah, as I've said before, quite impressed with these speakers. The tweeters are exactly the same as the tweeters that were in the LS4As that I had, and I think the crossover circuit is the same on the tweeter too. So yeah, it's quite interesting really. And I've got another speaker as well, which I'm going to do a video on shortly, and that is a centre channel that Roger's made, a C33. It's in really bad condition, but again, the tweeter circuit uses exactly the same components, so it must be quite a common sort of way that Roger's did their tweeters. Right, let's put this tweeter back together then. Okay. Looks a bit dry, that one. Good, that's better. Okay. Right, in with the woofer. Cack-handed today I am. Right, very good. Lovely. Yeah, very good drivers again on these. Swiss tone. Yeah, nice big 8-inch woofer. Or is it 7? I think it might be 7. 7-inch. So yeah, good size, good power handling. So hopefully once this is all up and running, it'll be a good listen. These are wood screws, so don't over tighten them. Just nip them up. Right, so that's all back together, and the cabinets are pretty good on these, but you can see we had a knock there. So what I've done, I've taken off all the loose pieces of chipboard and got it smooth, and then soaked it in PVA. So that's glued everything back together. So all I need to do with that is just touch it up with some black. I mean, that's the best I'm going to really achieve without redoing these, and it shouldn't be too noticeable. So yeah, that's that one. Right, let's do the other. Also, I've got the speaker grills looking pretty good. So I just mixed up some washing powder, and with a sponge ever so gently just went over them and then patted them dry, left them by the radiator, and they've come up really, really well. So really good. This particular one is really good. There's no pulled threads or anything. The other, again, has come up really clean, but there is a little area there where the thread's pulled, and a teeny nick down the bottom, but it's not, doesn't warrant reclothing them. I mean, they've come up nice and clean. I'd be quite happy with that. So yeah, all good. Right, so here we are with the other speaker. So what I'm going to do is just check this new tweeter that we've got. The chap checked it, so I'll be a bit annoyed if there's a problem with it. So let's put the meter on 200 ohm. Check our leads. 0.2 again. Okay. So 4.4. You see that? 4.4. So 4.2, and I'm pretty sure the other was 4.1 when we measured it. So that's very, very good. So happy with that. Right, so we take the woofer out of this one and take the crossover out and change that 20 microfarad cap again. Take these wood screws out. And like I say, I can't remember seeing that resistor in this one. So I'm assuming if there isn't one, it's because they've voiced these together and the other one needed it, because these are matching serial numbers. And with Rogers, that means they've been tested and voiced together. So they're a proper matching pair. So if there isn't one, I'm going to kind of assume that there's a reason for that. And like I say, with the position of it in the crossover, it's not going to cause too much of a problem if there is or isn't. But like I say, I don't remember seeing one. So we shall see. Carefully turn you over. Right. Okay, woofer out. Take the foam out. No, there's not one in this one. Interesting. So like I say, there must have been a reason for that. And I'm pretty sure it was when they were voiced, this woofer behaved a little bit differently to the other one. So I think we'll leave it as is and see what happens when we give them a listen. I will measure these as well. Right, so this was the cap that was really out of tolerance. So 20 microfarad. Interestingly, this is an L cap, whereas the other one was KEF. I'm pretty sure they're probably the same. These have just been rebadged, or the KEF one has. So we'll take this out and get it replaced. a bit more room for this one to go in. So we're going to have to do the same with this leg. Okay, solder them back on properly. Okay, there we go. All good. So we'll clip these off, and that's that one done. Take that off now. Right. So as seems to be the case with all of these speakers, the tweeter is connected out of phase, probably for a number of reasons. Yeah, like I say, these are good cabinets, good speakers, so quite impressed with them. I know some of the later Roger speakers were going off the boil a little bit. Yeah, these seem to be pretty good. Okay, that's the woofer done. Back down in the depths you go. There we go. So with the tweeter, I'm going to do the same as I always do, and that's take off these crappy spade connectors. They corrode, they introduce resistance, yeah, and they're just not very clean. So we'll cut these off, tin them up, and then tin up these connections, solder it all together. Okay, done. Yep. So there we go. We should be back and fully operational again. So get these screwed down. All good. So again with this one, as we had with the other, the cabinet had been knocked in the corner. So kind of same thing really. So again, I've taken off the loose chipboard and soaked it in PVA, and it's glued up really nicely. There's a little bit of a hole in that one, so I might fill it carefully before I paint it, but that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to re-veneer them or anything, because it's just not really worth it. These are going to get sold. You know, it's going to knock their value down a little bit, but you know, it's only cosmetic. Electronically and electrically, they're all really good, and the cabinets are sound. It's just a bit of a knock on the veneer. So yeah, hopefully that'll all be okay, because they're a pretty good speaker. So there we go, all back together, looking sharp. So yeah, sorry it's been a bit of a boring one, but these are done now. I'm just going to touch up those little corners, and then don't be surprised if you see these on eBay soon. I'm going to give them a good listen up, make sure everything's okay, but yeah, quite happy with them. The Rogers Centre I've got, interestingly, like I say, the tweeter crossover circuit is identical to these. It uses, I think, the 418. This is the 414 tweeter. As that circuit's identical, I would be inclined to get another one of these for the centre. And that way, if you're using these as a left, centre and right, they're going to be a really good match. So when I come to sell these, I might sell them paired up with the centre, which should be a really good combination for good stereo listening and also your surround sound. So yeah, watch this space, we'll see. Okay, thanks for watching. Ditton 11's coming up soon, and the 22s are nearly there. I've filmed a lot of stuff on those, so I'll get that put up soon. And yeah, I've bought some Ditton 44 enclosures, which have come with a mid-range, so we need to build a crossover for that. I've found a good tweeter, and I'm on the hunt for a good 12-inch woofer, so we'll try and make something out of those as well. And I am going to do a video on how I listen to these, how I measure them after repairing them, the two different ways that I do it, and yeah, how I double check them. So that's coming up. Okay, thanks again.